Thank you very much to the media team, and thank you also for your attention to that video presentation. You know, it's not often the case that you attend an event where you are fully cognizant and aware of the fact that that event and all the actions that flow from that event have got such significance for, you know, the province, for the institution, for the region in general. And I think this is such an event. There's a feel about this event that there is something, there's a beginning of a snowball effect that's really not going to touch what we're doing today, but in generations to come, but also in terms of the institution itself. So the speakers are going to explain the significance of this event in many different ways. And I sense that you're a little bit tight, so often what happens is that if you're not welcomed, you know, in an event officially, you feel a bit uneasy. So I'm going to ask our VC and the leader of the decade of renewal that we are embarking on as an institution to come up front and to welcome all of us to this event so that we can get everything going. Please give an applause to Professor Sakela Buhlungu, our VC.
Dr. Shula, good morning, everyone. We don't do it the Fort way. Good morning. That's half the Fort way, but I'll forgive you. Thank you very much. I'm going to greet everyone, and I see many eminent faces around the room. But I've asked that Dr. Taule Mjimba, when she does her talk, she's next on the agenda, she'll do a more detailed introduction of the guests so that nobody feels left out. So if I don't mention names now, please understand it's coming up. Mine is very short. It's to welcome you to Fort Hare. This is it. This is only part of it. You saw the video. We spent a lot of time talking about that video. I won't tell family secrets right now, but I still want the video that speaks to why we're here today. We're here today to celebrate a moment, and I'm going to say a few things. I'm going to greet especially two guests. Please don't feel offended if I don't mention you. I'm going to greet Ambassador Baso Sango, who is here, who is from AngloGold Ashanti. Yes, please. And please give him a round of applause. And I'm also going to greet Ms. Khomotso Chaga, also from AngloGold Ashanti. Thank you very much. And I do know that there are many other people here who will be introduced. There are also my colleagues from the senior leadership of the university, especially also from the Faculty of Science and Agriculture, which speaks to this. But I'll introduce a third person who's also very, very important today, and because I want to extract something out of him by the end of today. And that Mr. Sim Somgyala, Kaupagame Mr. Sim Bakbon. Yes. I'm doing this because I want to extract something out of him by the end of proceedings today. And thank you very much. Mr. Simson Gyala is the CEO of Amadlelo, which is our partner with the dairy farm, which you saw in the video, which we'll visit later. But let me begin by saying this is an idea whose time actually is now. And we're very grateful to all of you. We've touched base with several of you. We've met in your offices. Emails have gone backwards and forwards, and phone calls and so on and so forth. But also internally, there's been lots of documents and plans and thinking and so on and so forth. And it's twofold, and it will be introduced in that way. The main introduction of the idea will be by Dr. Taule Mjimba, our Deputy Vice Chancellor for Research, Partnerships and Innovation. But there's also an academic, if you like, training qualification element. And our Deputy Vice Chancellor for Teaching and Learning, Professor Renuka Vital, will speak to that. So that's that. But let me just say what it is in a nutshell. What we did last year, we thought, look, we are a 50% owner to a dairy farm with more than 700 cows, right? More than 700 cows. You may have seen it coming through. You may have seen, you're going to see more of it, and when we visit. More than 700 cows. But it's not just that. It's a dairy farm that's been in existence for more than a decade now. It's part of a stable called Amadlelo, because Amadlelo is the other partner. It's for several years in a row, it's one of the top performers. It's one of the top performers in a stable of dairy farms of more than 10, I think 12 or thereabouts, in the Eastern Cape and parts of KwaZulu-Natal. Okay, so we're very, very proud to be part of that initiative. Also producing some of the best milk in the country. Okay, I need to say. You know where I'm going, Mr. Somgyala, right? So that's where the idea started. So we said, but we've got this facility here. We have very minimal interaction with our students and the dairy farm. It's minimal. Yes, there is a self-organized group of students who do some volunteer work and so on at the dairy farm, but it's just it's handful, and it ends there. And yet, we've got this massive, top-end, high-end kind of dairy farm that we have right here at this university. First of all, very few people know about it. They see the cattle. Some of them don't even realize that it's part of us. So we said, okay, there are two things we need to do. One, we need to set up a professorship, an endowed chair in dairy science and technology. That's the idea, and that's the big idea that we sold to donors and partners and friends with deep and short pockets. That's the idea. A professorship that will then become the hub for research, for training, and for all sorts of other things will be based at this university. After all, we've got the track record in science and agriculture. We've got a long-standing faculty of science and agriculture here. And then we've got the dairy farm. So we said, brilliant idea. I should at this point add also, which is not relevant, we're not going to take you there, right next door to the dairy farm is also another high-tech initiative, a piggery, that produces, I can't remember how many cows, how many pigs to the abattoirs every Thursday. Hundreds of pigs. So top end. But I'm not going there right now. So that's the one thing. But then we said, secondly, we need to create an academic side, a qualification that speaks to dairy farm. If you go internationally, and some of the countries that we've been in touch with, the Netherlands in particular, and a few others, France, they have dedicated programs of this kind. And if we do it in South Africa, we'll be the first. We'll be the first, leading the pack. But thirdly, in our research, we realize that we exist, we live, we operate alongside a belt of dairy farms, stretching from the other side of Gqeberha, PE, all the way into KwaZulu-Natal. Some of the best dairy farms are in this region, and we're situated right in the middle of it. And so if we have this dairy farm, this research kind of hub, led by a senior professor and postdocs and so on, surely the benefits will accrue not just to the university and our students, but they will accrue to this chain, this belt of dairy farms. So that's the idea. Now, we also then, alongside that, crafted, and that Prof. Vital will speak to, we crafted a qualification. she will speak about where we are with that. But let me come back to the chair. We then said, okay, we're going to start a challenge. Now, the reason all of you are in the room is we didn't tell this much to you. The reason you're in the room, you are part of the challenge. And by the time you walk out of that door, you will have made your contribution to this challenge. Then we reckon that an endowed chair will generate sufficient interest to feed and to pay for the professorship and related activities, would require a minimum of 25 million. 25 million. So last year we said we start the challenge. We got on the road, thanks to Dr. Taulem Jimba and colleagues, and then we started introducing the challenge. And we said, we as a university will put 2.5 million to kick off the challenge. So match or exceed. The idea is match or exceed the 2.5. Match or exceed. And then, but there was another bigger prize to it. And we'll talk about that now. Match or exceed the 2.5. So you're already adding to 2.5. But if you exceed, very good, you'll go far in life. But if you do half the 25 million, then you have automatically earned naming rights for the chair. That's how it was. You have automatically earned naming rights. So, without being long about this, because there are eminent speakers who are going to speak about this, one organization, and they will be introduced properly. That's not my job. My job is to welcome you. One organization, actually, after listening very carefully to this idea and its presentations, they said, we are game. Here is 12.5 million on the table. And as I speak now, it's in the bank account. Don't you want to give that a round of applause? And so what you see behind me, yes, oh, okay, the secret is actually out. Okay, the secret is actually out. The name of that company is AngloGold Ashanti. And that's where the two colleagues come from. And so, in terms of an agreement that we've signed, therefore, and our Senate meeting met last week to endorse this internally, we're now starting an AngloGold Ashanti Research Chair in Dairy Science and Technology. That's what we're doing today. And we're coming to inaugurate that. And again, we're very pleased about this, and I'll say more. And I always get accused, berated for thanking people when I'm supposed to welcome them. So please, I'm not going to do that today. But so what we're doing today, therefore, is to inaugurate this chair with this and name it, the named chair. It's here. It's at Fort Hare, nowhere else in the country. Nowhere else in the country. And you'll see the reason why when you go to the dairy farm, the high-tech kind of operation that we run there. That's one. Then the second thing, then we thought, okay, any other players, interested parties, the door is still open. Your 2.5 will go a long way. So already now we have 15 million in the kitty, our own 2.5, Anglo Ashanti, and I know we have very eminent, I know the dairy farmers in the house, and I can see some of them, and the dairy farmers organizations in the house. We've also done a trip around the country. We've met other companies. I'm reluctant to name them, because it might sound as if we're being partial to some and not to others. But we went, especially in Johannesburg, we did a road show, we met with them, and again, people were looking. And of course, the one partner which has nowhere to run, no option, is Mr. Somgyala's organization, partner organization. So if I do my math already, the amount is going up, Mr. Somgyala. So thank you very much in advance. Thank you very much in advance. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we're here to do today. We to inaugurate the chair formally with the donors in the house, but also to bring other partners. If you have nothing, if your pockets are too shallow like ours, it's okay. We'll understand. But when they do dip in a little bit, please pitch in. Or if you have friends of friends, friends with deep partners, please also do that. I will leave it there, but again, I hope that this is going to be a meaningful exercise, not just the discussions here, but also the short excursion to the dairy farm itself. Once again, thanks very much, and let's give all of you a round of applause.
Well, thank you to our VC for that address. I think now you understand why I said that this is such a significant event. What is being launched here is a landmark in the history of not only University of Fort Hare, but apparently South Africa as well. If we are the first to offer this comprehensive program in livestock and technology, then that means we are at the forefront. We are leading the pack. And also, of course, the massive injection of Mula from AGA is also much appreciated. Thank you very much. I used to be a student here. I'm back now working. And when I had some of my fellows and PN students who had parents working in mines who are supporting them whilst they were doing their studies at Fort Hare. So it's a beautiful human story that whole loop can actually be completed in this way, where now AGA is now plowing back into this institution where many of the workers that actually go up to work in the mines actually come from, and their children come to University of Fort Hare, obviously. So I'm going to invite our Deputy Vice Chancellor, Dr. Taula Mjimba, who is DVC Research Partnerships and Innovation at the University of Fort Hare. And she is going to speak to us about where all this started, the reason why this is, and the purpose for this chair that we are launching and celebrating today. Please welcome her with a round of applause.
The day we've been waiting for is finally here. I'm very, very, very happy and excited. Actually, it feels like a dream. Just remembering when we were conceptualizing the idea. And it really felt like something that was going to happen after a long time. So this, for me, is a dream come true. And I would like to thank everyone who contributed to ensuring that this dream comes true. I'll come to that in a minute. Before I start to relate the origins, the objectives, and the purpose of this research chair, the AngloGold Ashanti Research Chair in Dairy Science and Technology, I'll just go to introductions briefly. And since we are an African university, I'm going to start to introduce the chief. We have among us Chief Makinana and his wife, and I would like him and the wife to stand and greet you all, and let's welcome him and greet him. thank you very much. We have said in our vision that we are an African university, so we know the importance of traditional leadership. Thank you very much for gracing our event. AngloGold Ashanti colleagues have been introduced. We will say more about them during the course of this program. We also have milk producers organizations. Can they raise their hands? And let's clap for them. Thank you very much. And then we also have African Farmers Association of South Africa. Are they here? They were invited. Agri Eastern Cape. Thank you so much. We are really honored by your presence. We also invited dairy organizations, Sundale Dairy from the Eastern Cape. Are they here? No? Fresh Choice? There they are. Thank you very much. And of course, Amadlelo. Thank you very much, Sim. We invited Raymond Mhlaba Municipality Councillors. Are they here? Thank you so much. I know AngloGold Ashanti wanted to meet you afterwards. I've introduced our traditional leader. I also want to introduce members of the Management Executive Committee. Can you just raise your hands? DVC, CFO, DVCIS as well. Thank you very much. We worked on this one together. Extended management team. So those would be directors and deans of faculties. I saw, yes, faculties. Thank you, EMT. SRC, are you here? Yes. Thank you, leadership. I knew you would be here. This is about you and the future. The Faculty of Science and Agriculture. I saw, yes, I saw Dr. Jaja as well. Dr. Jaja, are you here? Thank you. I remember we wanted to take your position and give it to this chair, but we made a plan. We still need to talk. Okay. Media houses. Members of media. Yes, thank you very much. News 24, Dispatch, Daily Dispatch, Food from Mzansi, Dairy Mail, Isolezwe. Yes, they are all here. And I was talking to JP the other day, and he was very excited that we are having so many of them here. Thank you very much. We really need you in this journey. So it shouldn't just be only about the launch, but even as we travel the journey, please travel it with us. Thank you. So that's it about introductions. Let me now zoom into origins, why we are here, how it started, where we are going. So fasten your seatbelts, let's move. Right. Now my laptop is misbehaving. All right, there it is. So, I think to start off with, I should just mention the fact that this university comprises 6 faculties. And because we are promoting multidisciplinarity, it's very important to also reflect and see where this research chair is going to be and also who it is likely to collaborate with. We have 6 faculties at the University of Fort Hare. The Faculty of Science and Agriculture, which is actually the biggest, and this is the faculty that's going to host this research chair. We've got the Faculty of Education, Faculty of Social Sciences and Humanities, the Faculty of Law, the Faculty of Health Sciences, and the Faculty of Management and Commerce. So in terms of the research that we do here at the university, it's vast, it's broad, and it comprises all those disciplines that you are seeing there, from law, African languages, agronomy, geography, political science. It's all those. And when we talk about being trans and multidisciplinary, we are talking about creating solutions that are based on different disciplines, because we have realized that sometimes we think we are dealing with dairy science, but that dairy science also talks to other disciplines like the economy, like health, like water. So it's very important that we remember that we said we want to emphasize collaboration, not just amongst ourselves, but also even among disciplines, even among other universities, and also not just here in the Eastern Cape. That's where we start, because we believe in starting locally. But we also know that research by its very nature is global, is international. Therefore, we promote both local partnerships as well as international partnerships. And really, whatever we do, if we don't align it to the strategic plan, then what we normally say is that it may as well be called entertainment. If it doesn't align to what we said as the university between 2022 and 2026, this is what we will be doing. And our vision has been to be, and is continuing to be, a distinctive African university, underline African university, because you can be a university in Africa, but not an African university. There is a difference. And we at the University of Fort Hare are striving to be that African university that looks and tries and strives to bring solutions through whatever we do, teaching and learning, research, community engagement. We want to be relevant to the communities that we serve. Our mission, of course, is to provide that quality education and also conduct research focusing on niche areas that contribute to the advancement of knowledge that is socially and contextually relevant. This research chair that focuses on the livelihoods of the people of the Eastern Cape is, in a true sense, socially and contextually relevant. And we are saying we are also emphasizing an application of digital technologies. That is why you will see technology. It's not just dairy science, but it's dairy science and technology, because we are wanting to see products that are actually coming out through the utilization of technology when we do our research, and ensure that possibly there will also be intellectual property that's going to revive the economy of this province. I thought I should start there and then zoom into the origins of this research chair in dairy science and technology. But before I even go deeper, I thought I should perhaps show that we are ready. This is the right place. The University of Fort Hare has got what it takes to host this very important research chair. We've got a strategic partner called AngloGold Ashanti, and this partnership was entered into a long time ago, 2007. And this led to the establishment of what we call the Fort Hare Dairy Trust, which is 50% owned by this university. The Fort Hare Dairy Trust is actually the state-of-the-art dairy facility here in Alice. Fortunately, after we have done the launch, there will be an opportunity to go and see the facility. We are very happy to be having this partnership with AngloGold. It has won a number of awards in the dairy farm space. We've got 800 dairy cows producing 4.3 million liters of raw milk per annum. That is something. The only dark side of it is that all this raw milk is processed outside this province. I think we need to change that story in a more meaningful way. We are producing so much milk and all of it being processed out of the Eastern Cape. Let's change that story. So that is what we are saying. This is the ground, the foundation is there, and this dairy farm is actually providing an ideal site for dairy science research, and most importantly, to also provide that human capacity development that's needed, and really that is what this research chair will strive to do. I forget to do that, so I've done that. Yeah. Right. Now, the Vice Chancellor talked about our plan to establish a new faculty of veterinary sciences. I won't go into much detail. Needless to say that all the paperwork has been done and submitted, and all we are waiting for now is approval from DHET. And what I just want to highlight is that veterinary sciences is a very important discipline, especially for this province, where the bulk of the population lives on livestock. And just perhaps to flash the numbers, approximately 25% of the cattle in the country comes from this province, 30% of the sheep and 39% of goats. So when we finally establish that veterinary sciences faculty, that is what the relevance that we talked about earlier will start to show. And really, when we also link this vet science and the new program that we are launching today of a research chair, one starts to see that there will be clear synergies, and there are a lot of good things that are going to come out of that marriage. And all we are saying is we are ready. We want to ensure that we improve the facilities that we have so that we are able to host this new faculty. And of course, the research chair that we are launching today has a lot to benefit from that. The VC also talked about let me skip this one. Talked about the new program in dairy science. We are also planning to offer a bachelor's degree in dairy science, and following approvals, we should be able to do that. And when you look at the whole spectrum of what we are intending to do, you will see then that when this program, the bachelor's degree in dairy science, kicks off, that will concentrate on undergraduates. And we are also saying once they have completed, there will be space in the research chair when they can now pursue their postgraduate studies. And the two will then link up with other programs. I think we also invited, just while I'm still on that pipeline, Zulu College colleagues, if they are here, and Fort Cox. Are they here? Of course. Let's welcome them. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. The reason why I'm mentioning Zulu College and Fort Cox is because they have very good programs that will also feed. They are at diploma level. So when you talk diploma, and we are offering a bachelor's degree in dairy science, we are also having postgrads being offered by this research chair. You begin to see how the pipeline will then be strengthened to ensure that we have enough capacity in the province to do the things that we want to do in strengthening research in dairy science, but also supplying the much needed human capital in the discipline. So we've talked about the emphasis on technology, and we are saying we are seeing that program including dairy food production and technology in relation to cheese, yogurts, and other dairy products. And I mentioned earlier that this chair will then be hosted by our Department of Animal and Pasture Sciences. And currently, we are trying to revamp our current research farm. It's not in the best state, but we have started to work on it. We invested 9.7 million last year just to ensure that it becomes the state-of-the-art farm that we know. Okay, so this part here, I thought I was going to share with you how it started, but the VC covered a lot on that. We went out and to look for a bride, and we got a bride. The name is AngloGold Ashanti, and we are gathered here for the wedding. So how is this family then going to continue? So when it comes to the naming, that one is taken. AngloGold Ashanti, researcher in dairy science and technology, will forever be. But we are saying there may be other relatives, actually they are there, that need to be brought close to this family. And we are saying, come on, let's do this together. There's still 10 million that still needs to be put in the kitty. And there are also some rides that you will enjoy. For example, you can come and say, I have 5 million, and all the bursaries that will be given through this chair will be through this company, and therefore we will name those bursaries under your company or organization. How is that? And there may be a building, a laboratory out there that will be used as a research space for this research chair. And then you say, okay, here is additional 5 million. And then we give you that, the naming rights for that laboratory that links very directly to this research chair. So that is the proposal. The family needs to get bigger. And we are here today saying the door is still open. The wife has been taken, and the wife will forever be AngloGold Ashanti. But we need additional family members who will ensure that the family lives on forever. Okay. 12.5 it was. 10 million still needed. All right, let's now zoom into what the objectives of this research chair are. The first and very important is to advance knowledge generation, and as well as human capital development. I think that is very obvious, that the crux of what any research chair has to do is to generate new knowledge. And equally important is to also train postgraduate students from honors, masters, postgrads, as well as postdoctoral fellows. And in a week or so, we'll be going out to put an advert for a leader who will come, join this university, and sit on that chair and create a hub that's going to ensure that we bring to bear what we have envisaged for this research chair. So we will be looking for a professor, preferably somebody who has had a lot of experience in dairy science. Wherever they are in the world, we are going to look for them to come here in Alice to start this research chair and start training the students, especially students of this province, the students of South Africa and Africa at large, to ensure that we create that necessary space and the necessary capital, human capital that we need. And just to mention that the dairy program that I talked about, the bachelor's degree that I talked about in dairy science, will be the very first in the country, because all other universities are offering dairy science as a module, but we will be the first to offer a Bachelor of Science in Dairy Science. So that's something. So when we talk about the strategic plan and zoom into being socially and contextually relevant, that is it. That is what it means. We are seeing this chair and the dairy program itself giving expression to what we have always dreamed about. We, as a university, value in partnerships very much. And we have said, even in our research strategy, we are going to be using collaborations, partnerships, as a pillar to ensure that we remain relevant, not just locally, but both regionally, nationally, continentally, and internationally. And the moment this research chair comes, they will be expected to nurture, to establish those partnerships, to nurture them, and ensure that even as they do that, there's no more money that comes to this research chair. So the idea, ladies and gentlemen, just maybe going back to the nature of an endowed research chair. When we have this 25 million, the expectation is that this chair has to live in perpetuity. I don't know if I did emphasize that to you, AngloGold Ashanti colleagues, but what we are establishing here today should outlive all of us. So that 25 million is not meant to be eaten, but we will be using additional resource mobilization programs to ensure that under the AngloGold Ashanti Research Chair in dairy science and technology, there is more money that comes, including the profits that we make to ensure that the life of this chair continues forever. So somebody might have said, but 25 million is quite a lot. Yes, it's a lot, but the idea is that we need to grow it so that it continues in perpetuity, so that we remain relevant to the people of the Eastern Cape who live, most of them live through subsistence farming, including livestock. So this is the big vision that we are having through this research chair. So that really, for me, blows my mind, because again, this university has other types of research chairs, but this is the very first time where we are establishing an endowed research chair. So we are really saying, let it live forever. If I was in other spaces, I would say until, comes, yes, right. So since we are really emphasizing collaborations, we are emphasizing partnerships, there will be various stakeholders that will be consulted even after the chair has been appointed, and that will be his or her job to ensure that higher education and research institutions come on board, dairy organizations, organized agriculture organizations, government departments, traditional authorities, the community is involved. So this is a very good platform to actually do that. Relevance again. Last year we launched 5 research niche areas. I won't go through all of them for now. They had their time. For now, I just want to show how this new research chair is going to help us to strengthen our research niche areas. You'll see that research niche area number 2 is about sustainable agriculture, water usage, and impact of climate change. And what a better way to contribute through a sustainable agriculture than what we are imagining and what we are launching here. We are not just starting something that will fade off within 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. We are looking at sustainability. A research chair that's going to help, a research chair that's going to contribute to the development of this province for a long time. So that is what I wanted to highlight. And of course, when you talk about the Faculty of Veterinary Sciences, even the 3rd research niche area comes to place when you talk about infectious diseases and medicinal plants. I just thought I should highlight that as one area that's linking very closely to what we have been saying we want to do in the university. Where will the research chair be based? It will be based at the Faculty of Science and Agriculture, which is the largest faculty, and actually the oldest, I think, in the university, with 87 academics that hold PhDs. The reason why I'm emphasizing that is because 2 years ago, we said, in order to be an academic in this university, you need to have a PhD or be registered for one. Nothing in between. And why is that important? Because we decided that we are going to be a research-focused university, and that then implies that we will need supervisory capacity, and you cannot, for example, supervise a PhD if you don't have one yourself. It's as simple as that. But again, we are wanting to increase our research outputs. We are wanting to really do many things that are going to put us in front when it comes to being research focused. So the PhD then becomes very important. When it comes to research publications, the Faculty of Science Agriculture stands out. And talking about multidisciplinarity, it's also leading in research in renewable energy, water, sustainable agriculture, and many others. Now, last but not least, what next? In the immediate future, we will be appointing, we'll be advertising for this research chair. And we are saying we are going to get a top scholar wherever they are, whether they are in Siberia, Antarctica, wherever they are, anywhere in the world. We are looking for a world-class leader who will come here and lead this research chair. So that's what we'll be focusing on in the next week or so. And we've already said that we still need 10 million. That will also be done concurrently. And I know after this event, there will be people coming close and saying, hey, we are here, we want to join the family. And this is, how do we do that? Yes, they will be there. So that once that research chair has been appointed, they will need to start working, getting their hands very dirty, and create that research team, as well as recruiting masters, honors, PhDs, and postdoctoral fellows to ensure that there is a hub of research activity around this chair. They will also need to write grants and get additional money, because I've indicated that the 25 really is not for just using and it gets finished. It needs to be grown. And this is what is expected of this research chair. And lastly, we are looking for societal impact out of this research chair. Of course, there will be research outputs, intellectual property, there will be workshops, there will be conferences, partnerships. At the end of the day, we are wanting to see this province changed for the better. We are wanting to have the impact that one day when we look back, we'll say, yes, this is what the University of Fort Hare did, and it has done it in a very meaningful way. So thank you again, AngloGold Ashanti, for taking our hand and contributing to this very important journey that we are taking. Thanks, everyone. We'll talk again. Enkosi.
Thank you very much to our DVC, Dr. Taule Mjimba, for really presenting an evidence-based analysis of the fact that we as Fort Hare are ready, and we've been ready, showing that this research chair is good for training at postgrad level, for sure, but also we will move forward in training at undergrad level with the establishment of the BSc, holistic approach to ensuring that we fulfill our obligations. We are now going to call on, I don't know whether we are going to call on the donor who has so generously donated and really has been important for the establishment of this research chair. We're going to call Ambassador Sangu, who is also a native of the Eastern Cape. I will not go into his profile. Safe to say that he has had many diplomatic assignments in Europe, in the EU, in the UN, and is currently the Senior Vice President for Group Sustainability at AngloGold Ashanti. Ambassador, over to you.
Thank you very much. I was reflecting on this, whether we are a donor or singumakoti. And I remember that the country right now is gripped with definitions of sorts of partnerships. You know, whether you are a government of national unity or whether you are a coalition, you know, and whether when you are in that, you're first to sign, you then get the rights to veto others who come. So I think, Prof. and Doc, when others come, we're going to demand that you consult us. But, you know, but no, thank you very much. Professor Sakela Buhlungu, Dr. Ntabi, distinguished guests, faculty members, students, members of the agricultural industry who are here with us, media and community, I greet you all this morning. And I must say, it's good to be here. It's good to be at Forte. It feels good to be part of this process. And again, I must thank the chief of the area, DT Inganga Nenzebazayo, kumntu wonke olapha. I must also particularly thank Usimpiwe Somtyala. We have been reflecting on when this all started, and of course the conceptualization and all from here at Forte. But for me, it started at a coffee shop somewhere in Johannesburg. And when I was sitting with Mr. Somtyala, and as we usually do, talk all things agriculture, all things economic development, all things rural development, where we come from. And he had this idea, and I think, Prof, you were in Joburg on that particular day. And as we're discussing, and he said, no, there is an initiative that University of Forte is embarking upon on dairy science and technology. And here is Professor's number. Call him, and I'm going to call him. You must talk to him about this. And indeed, he placed a call to Professor Sakela Buhlungu, and we chatted a little bit. And we made a commitment that we'll continue, and when he comes back, he will make sure that he connects us with Dr. Ntabi. And an idea was formed of this marriage, if you wish, or of this partnership, as we would want to call it. And here we are today to see it through and to see it being realized. And I'm thankful to him, as I'm thankful to the Professor Buhlungu, and thankful to Dr. Ntabi, and my own team back from AngloGold, Khomotso, and all the colleagues who are here, who really steered this ship to be where we are today. It is indeed an honor to be part of this auspicious occasion as we mark another first for the University of Forte, as together we launch the AngloGold Ashanti Chair in Dairy Science and Technology. We have always been inspired by this great, iconic African institution, the University of Forte, as a premier and foremost institution of higher learning in South Africa and the African continent. As you know, since its foundation in 1916, Forte has been a beacon of excellence and hope, a lodestar for national and continental renaissance. And as we were engaging, looking closely to forming this partnership, we were really encouraged by the new strategic plan that Forte has articulated and adopted towards a decade of renewal. And we found resonance with what was contained in this strategic plan as AngloGold Ashanti. We are both driven by societal purpose larger than our own institutions, and we are underpinned by enduring universal values. And for us, AngloGold Ashanti, we want to pursue mining in order to empower people and to advance societies. So we're pleased to be part of this renewal journey, and we believe that we have common purpose, and we salute the university, supported by all the stakeholders here present, for their vision in making this faculty a reality. And we really salute your leadership, Professor Buhlungu, in this process. You might wonder, what is a mining company such as ours and the university have in common? And particularly, what is our interest, common interest in the field of research and study and technology, especially in things dairy? While AngloGold Ashanti is today one of the largest gold mining companies in the world, with operations across 4 continents, our roots trace back to 1998, when the company was formed through the consolidation of Anglo-American's gold mines in South Africa. And then even further back to the origins of gold mining in the country. We believe that we have been a reliable partner to the governments and communities where we operate, ranging, in the case of South Africa, when we were dealing with the scourge of HIV and AIDS, and to the recent devastating pandemic, COVID-19, that we have had in South Africa and the world. For decades, we have made our humble contributions to support access to education and healthcare through our social initiatives. Equally, we acknowledge the negative impacts of the role of mining in our country's history. What we recognize emphatically, though, is a role that communities in the Eastern Cape in particular have played in the gold mining industry in South Africa. This is a province where we don't see many of the gold mines, or mines in general, but it is very much a mining province, to an extent that it has contributed a lot to the advancement of the mining industry in South Africa. That is why, for many years, our local economic development programs were focused not only on those communities around where we operate, but also in the communities in the Eastern Cape where a majority of our employees have come from. And so we no longer have mining operation in South Africa. However, we remain deeply committed to creating lasting positive impacts in the mining communities, not only where we operate, but also where we have maintained historical ties. As part, therefore, of our commitment to South Africa and our former employees and communities, we are proud to invest in 3 separate legacy projects in the Eastern Cape, which are aimed at driving educational and agricultural development. One of these projects is the one that we're launching today, the AngloGold Ashanti Chair in Dairy Science and Technology here at the University of Fort Hare. We do indeed see ourselves as a partner to this new endeavor. With the investment of 12.5 million, this initiative will support rural economic development. It will support rural small-scale farmers with knowledge and innovation in the Eastern Cape and across South Africa. This initiative, as it has been already presented to you, aligns very well, not only with the South African National Development Plan. It aligns with several of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. It also aligns with the African Union's Agenda 2063 in creating the Africa we want on the continent, such as in areas such as eradicating poverty, promoting gender equality, and ensuring environmental sustainability. The University of Fort Hare, known for its historical contributions to human rights, democracy, and socio-economic development, is indeed an ideal partner for us for this project. It has been highlighted already that this endowment represents a new dawn for knowledge production to support industry growth, to support food security, shared prosperity, inclusivity, socio-economic development, and the upliftment of stakeholders in the dairy sector, with the whole value chain, and to support rural development in our communities. Of course, this is dairy. Of course, I'm sorry that I become very much dairy intolerant. But I do know, growing up in my own village, how dairy products, or dairy such as just milk, played a very important role in the development and upliftment, health of our communities. As you drive around the Eastern Cape, we do know, and this fact has already been mentioned by Dr. Ntabi, it is very much an agricultural province. You see a lot of livestock. Every other community and every other family has one or two cattle or livestock in their homes, in their homesteads. But yet, these are not being utilized to its utmost capabilities. So we are hoping that this initiative will not only be a research that remains here at the university, but we hope that other actors, stakeholders, especially the Department of Agriculture here in the province, will play its role to ensure that whatever research outputs that are produced will be disseminated and be applied to these communities that I'm talking about, so that indeed at the end of the day, we can see the livelihood of our communities growing. Once again, as I conclude, AngloGold Ashanti is very excited to be part of this renewal journey at the University of Fort Hare. We believe that this collaboration will have a meaningful impact on the dairy industry and rural communities in the Eastern Cape. By investing in education and agriculture, we hope to continue our legacy and contribute to sustainable development in the regions where we operate. We look forward to seeing the fruits of these collaborations in the years to come, and we can assure you that we will accompany this process into the years to come. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give AngloGold Ashanti another round of applause for their immense generosity. I thought ukuthi ke nawo yiyizela xa nibona umakoti esiza phambili. I was a little bit, but thank you very much to AngloGold Ashanti for that presentation, and thank you, Ambassador, for your very wise remarks. I'm going to call on the next speaker. Kulu, I'm not going to go through your profile. It's safe to say that our next speaker, Simpiwe Somtyala, is currently the CEO of Amadlelo Agric. He has held many positions, former CEO of Askisa, positions, a CEO in Masizane Fund of Old, a lot. I want to give you a new title, it seems that the VC has lit a fire under your seat. So you are a man on the spotlight. We'll see a little bit under pressure. Let's see how you respond. Please welcome Mr. Somtyala.
Mandi bulise ngayo lemina namhlanje. When I was planning to come, waking up this morning, and I always know how Prof. Buhlungu dresses. It took a bit of time whether to wear a suit or gumboots, just to demonstrate that our partnership has got two legs. There's the academic, there's excellence, there's pursuit of knowledge, but at the same time, we are practical about what we do. It's not theory, it's how we translate the things we learn into reality and practice. Vice Chancellor, AGA, Ambassador Sangu and the team, esteemed guests, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, I must say we're honored to address you today to celebrate the launch of the AngloGold Ashanti Research Chair in Dairy Science and Technology. I think for us, it's demonstrate one thing. If you've got a vision and a long-term vision, you dare not stop because what you wish and what you hope to achieve is not realized in the shortest possible time. As it has been said, this is more than a decade, and that reality we are experiencing today. And thanks to your vision, Prof. And every time I talk to you about the research chair, I see you always light up. And that's very, very much encouraging. And also, thanks to Doc for really leading the initiative. I concur with Ambassador Sangu, and it's a reality. We're here today because of those conversations, and we're here today because most of the time we talk about this dream of transforming not only this Eastern Cape, not only South Africa, but the entire continent. And it is true to what Ambassador Sangu stands for. And I know maybe you don't know, he's also a farmer as well. And thanks for the support. And thanks, Homoso, for always being there as well from AngloGold Ashanti. I think as we sit here today, the words from Albert Einstein, who famously stated that the only source of knowledge is experience. The only source of experience, of knowledge, is experience. This rings true as we embark on a journey of exploration and innovation in dairy science and technology, where our dedication to rigorous research and experimentation will unlock new possibilities and drive progress. I think one thing that you will learn is this dairy, where AngloGold is a partner with the university, and as the Prof indicated, has also the piggery component, which is also a partnership between the university and number 2 piggeries, one of the largest piggery organizations in the country. And you will experience science at play. And we always refer to the University of Fort Hare and AngloGold's dairy as one of the cheapest low-cost production dairy farms, because it combines the slurry from the dairy, and we use it instead of using fertilizer, and also VC, what comes out of university is also what we use to fertilize those pastures, and we save a lot as a result. So that's part of technology. And what you'll also note is that management team in that dairy comes from this university, the graduates of this university. And one of them is here. I won't ask him to stand up, he's a shy guy, but it's the passion that you see in them and this quest for knowledge. And I know that one of them, VC, wants to do masters. I hope that dream will be realized soon. And also, Chair, Program Director, you've been in the dairy, and you know for quite a number of years we've seen students taking their own initiative to go there, and during holidays they will be learning and working and doing all sorts of things, and we really appreciate that. Innovation is the engine of progress, continuously challenging boundaries and reshaping what is achievable. By investing in this research chair, like the one we're honoring today, we're not only deepening our understanding of the world, but also sowing the seeds for transformative change. The collaboration between AngloGold and the university, leading to the establishment of the Fort Hare Dairy Trust, is a testament to the university's commitment to community engagement and practical initiatives resulting in the creation of 4 additional dairies. And I must make the point that VC, those 4 dairies you talk about in the former Transkei, which produce not less than 20 million liters per day, were born out of this stream. Because those who were in the forefront of setting Amadlelo and those who were part of this university said, let's start here and ground research at a practical level and use this to advance and grow. And with this important initiative, I'm sure we will be deepening transformation and we will be ensuring that this industry, I must say, funny we talk about it in MPO, the dairy industry is one of the most untransformed sectors in the country. We produce not less than 3.4 billion tons, and of that, far less than 5% is actually from black-owned and operated dairies. That's a serious, serious one. And we consume a lot of milk. And when Amadlelo was formed, it was formed by white commercial farmers together with black professionals with one purpose, to advance transformation. So we're realizing that dream today, and we really are proud. And we believe that this research chair will play a pivotal role beyond academia. It will serve as a catalyst for societal advancement and economic prosperity. The successes elsewhere in countries like Canada, where we've seen how research chairs have transformed societies and how through breakthrough technologies we've seen new products being developed, new ways of doing things being initiated. And we're hoping out of what we're launching today, we will see that progress. We're hoping that we'll also see young people coming more and more into dairy, not only as milkers, but also processing. You can see there we talk about technology. How do we then look at those value chains in the dairy and ensure there's more and more transformation? It doesn't have to be a big one. It has to be transformative in a way that is meaningful and also changes the life of ordinary people in the Eastern Cape. So we're proud of this initiative. We're proud of it being grounded on research. We're proud of it being grounded on knowledge, innovation, and technology. And I know we will succeed. Prof, you made a comment earlier, and unfortunately here, if Charles was not here, I would make a commitment, but I fear him. One of the things we said we will look at is how, as a dairy, we contribute a percentage of our profits, direct them to this dairy chair in perpetuity. Now, I don't know whether when we reach that 25 million, we will change it to another name. And that's one thing that we hope will happen. But there is a commitment, and that commitment is not a year's commitment, and we're working on the modalities of that. Because we believe in this initiative, we believe in research, we believe in knowledge, we believe in being grounded on technology. And I really thank and I hope that all of us will have a great day and really experience the dairy that we have, and building on what is there and not theorizing about where we are. We are really progressing, and I really am proud of you. Thank you, Prof.
Thank you very much to Mr. Somkyala, the CEO. It looks like you scored yourself a lab with those final comments that you made. Sorry, just a quick correction that we have to make here. Chief Makinana, who we introduced earlier, is in fact a traditional leader in East London and a member of the Kgakgabe Kingdom Royal Council. He is not a local chief in Alice, and is quite worried that if word gets around that he's a local chief, the other chiefs might not be happy with that. Also, he's accompanied by Lusanda, his daughter, and not his wife. Okay, very, very important that we make. Welcome, Chief, and to your daughter. These matters are very important to clarify. We are going to receive another message of support, once again, from a very important player in the industry, from the MPO, Milk Producers Association. Mr. Fani Ferreira is the CEO of that organization. And let's please welcome him with a big round of applause.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. And from the MPO in Pretoria, I would just like to thank you for the invitation. And as I'm a person that grew up in a Free State, I think it'll just be appropriate if I can greet you in the correct manner to say Bontate lebome ki lewile or ki lebone ka fela mona ka sheku and kia khola ka bua hamana. I'd like to start off by just saying the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Madam Deputy Vice Chancellor, mentioned that a marriage took place here today. And as I was sitting there, I realized, that this is also a very African wedding that actually took place here, because on the same day as the marriage took place, there was also a child that was born. And I would like to congratulate you on that. For us as a milk producers organization, this is also a very important day, and we would very much like to be part of this journey going on from here. And listening to Simpiwe speaking before me, we as an organization also are proud to have you as members and to walk this journey with you. And we're also glad to have Zola Gebeda here, who's actually today, as I can see in the shirt that he wears here, in his capacity as a director of our organization. And he's not only a director of organization, he's also the chairman of the Eastern Cape Milk Producers Organization. But we know he's also closely involved in Amatlelo, and we're also proud to have him on board. I've been asked to give a bit of a background to the dairy industry, and I think most of you will find it interesting to know that we currently have only 850 dairy farmers in South Africa that produces 9 million liters of milk every day, Saturdays and Sundays, Christmas and New Year. It's an enormous challenge that we have, and we've got a very, very unique industry, the primary industry. If we compare it to the rest of the world, we're definitely leaders in many of the aspects. We're one of the countries in the world with the lowest production cost, and unfortunately due to that, we're also one of the countries with the lowest farm gate price. Nevertheless, we're very, very fortunate to know that we're efficient. Our farmers are extremely efficient. They are extremely professional in what they do. Even though we're only 850 farmers, we produce a huge amount of milk. If I can take you back a couple of years, maybe 10 years, 15 years ago, we were more than 25,000 dairy farmers. Due to several factors, this is what happened, and that we're today only 850 farmers left. Still, as I repeat, and as I said, we're very efficient, and we do produce a huge amount of milk at a very efficient way. Our country is divided in 4 provinces according to our production systems. We have the Northern Province and we have KZN, Eastern Cape and Western Cape. The Eastern Cape is a very important role player and they are at this stage the biggest producing area. There's also some challenges regarding that because although the most of the milk is produced in the Eastern Cape, the most of the milk is consumed in the Greater Gauteng area, about 65% of it. And on a daily basis, that milk has to travel from the Port Elizabeth area up to Gauteng. We are also pleased to know that our processes on where we deliver our milk and that buy the milk from us are very efficient, very professional, and that we've, in all cases, have good relationship with them, and that they produce a product that is on world standard and that can overcome this challenge. Although we would like to see in a future that we could address that problem and that there could be more evenly spread production over the country, we know that it will always be important for a province like the Eastern Cape to produce milk and to produce it at this level. I've also been asked to give a bit of a background about small-scale farmers. Unfortunately, in South Africa, the small-scale farmer environment is not very good developed. We know that there's a huge opportunity for that, and I've been fortunate myself in the last number of years to visit countries like Kenya and India, where small-scale farming activities are really done at a very, very successful rate. You know, I can just give you an example. As I said, in the South African context, where 850 farmers milk an average of 600 cows each. If we go to the Indian context, there's 50 million dairy farmers, each owning 2 cows and each delivering 6 liters of milk a day. Although, nevertheless, that the amount of milk is 300 million liters per day, which makes them by far the biggest producer of dairy in the world. They've been that for the last 25 years, and I think for the next 25 years they will be. So why do I say this? You know, it's important to know that it can be done. They do it very successfully in India. They do it very successfully in Kenya. And I think it's something that can be developed in South Africa. And it's one of the challenges I would say to this new baby that was born here today. It is definitely something that can be looked at. There's development work that has to be done regarding that, and we really hope we can be part of that journey and also to make a success of that. If I can pose a challenge to this new institution, the first thing would be to know that we have a very unequal system in South Africa regarding the amount of use of milk. Why do I say that? There's millions of people, approximately maybe 20 million, even more, that doesn't use any dairy products in South Africa. So it's a huge challenge for us, and there's also huge opportunities in it. You know, right now, currently, we're producing a very, very high level range of products, and as each of you can see, if you go to your retail shops, we're very proud of what we have there. But unfortunately, we do not have enough products that is directly marketed to the lower income groups in South Africa. And can I just pose to you, if we can do that successfully, we'll be able to produce milk maybe double than what we have currently. The 9 million liters is, we can only dream about that. But there's challenges regarding that, and that's why we need research facilities like what we have been seeing born here today. If I can just tell you, we've recently had talks with people that are involved in school feeding schemes just in the Gauteng area. And in a bigger Gauteng area, there's 9 million children at school. So if we can have 200 mils of milk to each and every child just in the Gauteng area, we'll consume about 25% of the current production in South Africa, only in that. So, you know, just to see, although we emphasize and say that we've got a very efficient primary dairy system, There's huge challenges for us, but there's also huge opportunities. South Africa is one of the, in an African context, one of the lowest per capita consuming nations in Africa. I think Kenya is the biggest one. Kenya uses something like 140 liters per person per year. In South Africa, we only use 53 to 55 liters per person per year. So there's challenges, and we looking forward to work with this facility to address all of that. And we're very glad to know that such a facility has been established now and that we can work together with them to overcome all these challenges. Simpiwe also mentioned a very important thing, and that is regarding transformation of the primary dairy industry in South Africa. And unfortunately, as I stand here today, it's not something that we're proud of. We as a milk producer organization, because of our very unique structure and the way that we are put together, unfortunately is not able to do anything regarding transformation. We do not have any funds available. The institutions in South Africa that are able to do the transformation has their own agendas on how they do it. But I must say we're not going to leave it there, and I hope that by the end of this year, or at least early next year, I'll be able to come back to you guys and to tell you that the MPO would be in a position in the future to be able to actively be involved in transformation on the primary side of dairy, and that we would be proud, and we know how necessary it is, especially in the development of small-scale farmers. I also want to use the opportunity to thank institutions like AngloGold Ashanti for the contribution that they make towards this very, very important project. And I repeat once again, from us as the MPO, it's a huge privilege also to be here today and to be involved in this, and we hope going forward that we will stay involved in this, and that the outcome of this can be great for all of us. I thank you.
Thank you very much to Mr. Ferreira for that very nice presentation. It's very practical, very pointed, full of data, very similar to what Mr. Somjala said. Farmers want to get to the point, they want it done, and they don't want you to go around. They want problem, solution, results, so I'm really grateful. But also for giving a challenge to the MPO as well, to say that perhaps in the near future, they might be able to speak a bit more about their efforts in transformation within their organization. Okay, we're going to have another message of support from the National Research Foundation. It will actually be a Zoom call that will come in from Dr. Gugu Moche from the NRF. Technical team, you can just take it away when you are ready.
Colleagues, good day. My name is Gugu Moche, and I'm currently serving as the acting DCO for RISA, which basically is the funding wing of the NRF, but also responsible for digital transformation. I'm here on behalf of our CEO, who could not be able to attend the session today, but who also shares his apologies to say that he would have very much wanted to be part of the proceedings. Listening to colleagues talk about this partnership and talk about this endowed chair, I must say that I now understand also the excitement that our CEO was sort of gleaming with when talking about this. Because when we look at this partnership, I think it speaks very much close to the heart of the NRF. Because for us, at the end of the day, what gets funded, it's in support of our vision, research for a better society. But also, when you look at that, embedded in that, it's the element of impact. To say that it's not enough for us to do research, and it's also important to make sure that we can tell a story of impact, and this shows that. That in fact, when we actually look at what we fund, we always use a lens that we call TIES, and that lens is the lens of transformation, the lens of impact, the lens of excellence, and the lens of sustainability. And if you look at all those elements, and if you look at these elements in this endowed chair, you're starting to see that all of those are in there, that this is a very well thought of initiative that ensures, again, that at the end of the day, we will have not only research outputs, not only students graduating, not only strengthened research capacities, but also a story that begins to talk about impact, a story that begins to talk about transformation, right? But I think also it is also fascinating to see how closely aligned this endowed chair is to the vision of the university, right? That if you look at it, you have not only the element of the African university that supposes and suggests that we are bringing uniquely African solutions. You also have an element of advancing excellence that is part of what you also see in your vision. You also have an element of innovation in research, which I think the innovation is not just only in research, but it's also in industry, private or industry public university type of partnerships, that we are not just saying we are relying on a single source, but rather that there are multiple ways that we can begin as a country and particularly as universities to be able to look at other innovative ways of funding research, right? But also, if you look at initiatives that have been in place, particularly if you look at the Sachi Chairs initiative, there is huge close alignment of the Sachi chairs with this endowed chair. Because if you look at the objectives of our Sachi chairs, you will see that one is to expand research and innovation capacity, which is from what has been said and also from the vision. It's an element that you see in this initiative. Two, if you look at improving South Africans' international research and innovation competitiveness, it's something, again, that you see in the strategic intent of the university, but also you see that alignment with the objective of the Sachi chairs. And responding to social and economic challenges, absolutely. I think promotion of dairy science and technology, its importance cannot be overemphasized. I think colleagues have spoken at length to show how important this is. Right? attracting and retaining excellent researchers and scientists. Again, what this will then intend to do, we will begin to see more researchers entering this research space. But not only that, guided again by that element that we see in the university's vision of excellence, right? And creating research career pathways for highly skilled, high quality, young and mid-career researchers. And we, from the NRF side, see this as a possibility that there will be an ecosystem that will not just train students, it will also train your postdocs, it will also train your emerging researchers, but it will create this ecosystem that begins to say that African universities have impact to make. African universities can tell a story that says, if we're going to say something about research for a better society, what can we say, right? And finally, as I conclude, Chair, I was looking at specifically what have we funded from the research from the NRF to the university, because we seem to look at this, or we think that this is a partnership that must be strengthened, that one of the modalities now that we have adopted with SACHI chairs is the co-funded chairs. That we see this as an avenue that if we can come with another angle that says, how do we add and bring some additionality to this chair, how do we do that? If we look, for example, I looked at the past 4 or 5 years of funding for students alone for the university. And if you look at the amounts that have been expensed, this is over 120 million that have been expensed for students, which is huge in the sense that it means that the university has a history of not only receiving money, but also utilizing the money that is given. That in 2023 alone, for research support, excluding students, the university from the money received from the NRF was almost around 15 million. And again, a testament that says the university has a way of getting money, but not only get money, but actually utilize the money for the intended support. So as we move forward with this initiative from the NRF, I must say that we not only excited, we are also saying, how can we then partner to bring additionality to this initiative? And we're looking forward to that, that we are proud to look at our system to say the National System of Innovation is growing. Our National System of Innovation is saying it's not enough to just, again, look at one source for funding, but rather we can diversify how we do this. But we do this in ways that it brings additionality. So VC, let me congratulate the university, DVC, and honored guests. Let me congratulate the university on this huge, huge achievement. And that as the NRF, we're looking forward for a strengthened partnership. And again, to emphasize, we're looking forward to how we bring additionality to this great initiative. And let me thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much to Dr. Moche for those words. Incidentally, Dr. Moche is the Group Executive of Digital Transformation at the NRF. She was also Acting Deputy Chief Executive Officer as well. So thank you very much to her. I'm not sure if she's still online, but she's also been online for the whole of the proceedings. So she's been in the background with the media team, listening to all the conversations and the speeches that we have had. Okay, we are now going to move towards the end of this section of the program, and we are going to ask Professor Vital, who is our DVC for Teaching and Learning at the University of Fort Hare, to come and to do our vote of thanks. And then after that, we will get into the second part of our proceedings today, where we will do a farm visit, and we will just explain a little bit after she's spoken how we'll do that. Round of applause for Professor Vital, please.
checking. It is afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone, and a warm welcome to the University of Fort Hare. We are very pleased that you have come to the Alice campus of the University of Fort Hare. I can tell you when we were planning the event, there was a suggestion that maybe we should do it in East London, on our East London campus, because, you know, people wouldn't want to travel out here to Alice. But it has shown the fact that you are here. I really, on behalf of the university, want to express our deep gratitude for that you have come to the Alice campus. Now, I also want to, in making this vote of thanks, use the opportunity to, because you have come to Alice, and also because we do have a captive audience, and especially the media. I do know that in the last year or two, or some years, when you read about the University of Fort Hare, it has, in the recent past, to do with fraud and corruption and people in jail and all of that. And of course, it's sometimes very difficult to get the good stories, like the reason you are here, in the media. So I'm going to use this opportunity to share some of our good stories with you. Yes, we know that the issues of fraud and corruption and all of that, we're dealing with that. And the fact that we are dealing with it and there are consequences now for people mean that your money is safe with us. We are ensuring that having come out of a period of administration, that we have put in good systems in place. A lot of work has been done. And just to share some of that which links to this chair, and is very important for us. So when we were developing the chair, it happened more or less simultaneously with the idea of developing a Bachelor of Science dedicated to dairy science. It seems strange that for us as a university that we owned a dairy, but we didn't have actually a program specifically to do with dairy science. And I was especially surprised. My field is maths education, so it's been a new kind of area of interest to think that we don't have, in fact, in the country, a dedicated BSc to dairy science. So that was quite surprising, and we're very glad to have developed that. So the Faculty of Science and Agriculture, while you heard about the story that the VC and our DVC were doing the footwork to try and get the chair established, the Faculty of Science and Agriculture developed the Bachelor of Dairy Science and Technologies, focusing on food technology. And that program is, as we speak, sitting with the Department of Higher Education and Training. And just to give you a broader context, we, as part of our strategic plan, each faculty developed one new program, and I'm just going to mention two others that are also quite interesting. Our Faculty of Management and Commerce have developed a Bachelor of Entrepreneurship, also the first in the country, which is a Bachelor of Entrepreneurship, and that has already been approved by DHED. It's now on its way to the Council for Higher Education for accreditation. And then, and I should mention that the entrepreneurship component is now going to be incorporated across degree programs. So there will be that element of providing students with those kinds of skills that are needed. And then another very interesting resource that we have at the university is that we have a unique liberation archives. The ANC archives, a number of archives of other organizations are housed here in Alice, in one of those buildings that you saw as you entered. And so our Faculty of Social Science and Humanities have developed a unique new BA honors in Liberation Heritage Studies. And that's just been approved by DHET as well. and will be going to CHE and SACWA for all the accreditation registration processes. So I just mentioned those two. So we are looking at niche, specific areas that we tap into the strengths that we have as a university, and that we also hope we'll be able to attract students who are uniquely interested in developing those areas. So as part of our process of reorganization of the university, we have reorganized our departments. Some 45 departments have been consolidated into 25. And we are in the process this year. The university has put aside funding about over 100 million, 111 million. And we have advertised in this year 87 academic posts. The first 54 were advertised now in May. And so more than half of those are professors and associate professors. So in developing new programs and in reviewing our existing programs, we are also in the process of attracting, recruiting, and selecting academics across the range of, lecturers, emerging academics, as well as professors and associate professors. So you can see, I just wanted to share a few things that you can see there's a bigger picture in implementing our strategic plan and the work that we are doing. And of course, the one biggest backlog we had was in infrastructure. And we're very pleased that our DVC for institutional support, under whom our properties and services and maintenance, etc., are based, are renovating all our 85 lecture venues as we speak. And at least a dozen or so here on the Alice campus have been created as smart classrooms with all the latest technology in it. And we are also revamping all our laboratories. So there will be opportunities to claim the name for some of those. And we very much appreciate the interest and offer to continue to contribute to the chair. And maybe I should mention one other project that we have embarked on. A few years ago, the university utilized funding from the Department of Higher Education and Training to add 4,000 beds to our residences. So when you drove in, all the buildings you see behind me are new residences that have come online. And of course, given the challenges of a rural town like Alice, a big challenge that we continue to experience is water. So you always have intermittent cuts to the water supply. And to address that, and given the growth that the university is projecting, the university approached the Department of Higher Education and Training, and they provided us with 120 million to upgrade our waste treatment and our waterworks. And that project is now coming to conclusion. There'll be a launch, in fact, on Tuesday, and it means that the university, the town, and the surrounding areas will have double their water processing capacity, and there will no longer be water problems in Alice. And so as I end, our Vice-Chancellor reminded me that I should mention one additional project. You heard about the dairy, and I'm very glad that you're going to go and see it. It's really such an interesting project to see in action. But besides the dairy, and the cows that are linked to the dairy, we also have one of the biggest herds of Nguni cattle, about 400, here as a separate farm here on our Alice campus, and it is regarded as one of the biggest and best quality, I'm told, by the society that reviews these. So we're very excited that we have this fantastic Nguni cattle, and I don't know if you'll have a chance to see any of those. But ladies and gentlemen, it's been wonderful to have you here today. We are especially pleased to see such a representative audience to an event like this that represents so many diverse stakeholders. So I want to thank each of you for being here. I want to thank the municipalities, the traditional leaders, all the media, the local media, as well as those of you who have traveled in. We want to especially thank organized agriculture and also all the speakers that have spoken here, the associations, the dairy organizations, and then also all our higher education and training institutions that are here. We also want to acknowledge the emerging and commercial farmers who have attended this event. And then, of course, to all the members, the structures of the universities, the members of our executive, the SRC, members of the extended management team, the unions, and other forums. And then, of course, I want to especially ask you to put your hands together for our Deputy Vice Chancellor for Research, Partnerships, and Innovations who made this happen. I know that, Vice Chancellor, you were very much instrumental in, I know that you walked this journey with our DVC for RPI, so we thank you for that. I don't know where you get the energy to do all of that, but I know DVC, RPI, her passion and energy has been very infectious, and we especially appreciate this first chair that we have. Thank you. Of course, it's always teamwork, so I also want to acknowledge all the people in the research office that are support to her, and then also to our marketing and communications department for this wonderful event that they've put together. I know it's been a lot of hard work, and then, of course, all the service providers. And then I would like us to get on our feet to thank AngloGold Ashanti for this endowment. Thank you. I want to thank you for believing in us, putting your trust and faith in us. I know that it has not been easy, but that's the reason that we wanted to have this event and make it possible for more people to see the work that we are doing. And I think as I listened to all the speakers, I just felt when we leave this room and this event, there's so much work to be done, but we're ready to do it. So thank you for being here, and thank you for making this first very, very significant, important step for us. Thank you once again to everyone for being here, and I hope you enjoy your trip to the farm.
Thank you very much, Professor Vital, and I, in turn, will thank you for thanking us. I'm happy the members of the media are here, and hopefully some of the remarks that Professor Vital have said will also hopefully make it to some of your publications, that indeed it's a decade of renewal, not only in speech, but in actual action. And people are starting to realize that, which is why companies such as AGA are happy to partner with us in a meaningful way, as they have. So thank you very much. Once again, Ambassador, thank you to all the partners that have come together with us. Okay, so we've done a tell. Now it's time for us to show. We've said to you, we have a farm. It is state-of-the-art. Everything there is working fine. And now it's time for us to make our way down to the farm. And what we're going to do is we're going to do this in two groups. So I'm going to ask that those members who are in tables 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, I think 5 is over there? Yes, table 5, that guests who are in those tables, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, will come out. There is a bus outside that will take us to the farm to have a look at the operations there. I think Kulua will be there to walk us through exactly what they do. There's a bit of wind outside. Please hold on to your hat, to your weave, to whatever you need to hold on to. The wind has picked up suddenly, as you can hear a bit of a howl. So please, thank you very much for coming. Members of table 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, please exit. Follow Mr. Mwabi. He's at the back there. Thank you very much. The rest of the tables, please, you can remain seated. The buses will return, and then it will be our turn to go to the farm as well. TK. Sure.
So we are within the thing. Yes. Right, sorry.
It was like a dream. It was like, it's finally happening.
Congratulations.
Yeah.